The actress who played Elektra in Daredevil talks about a possible return to the MCU 7 years after her last role. This chance seems even more real now, especially since Jennifer Garner's Elektra showed up in Deadpool and Wolverine after nearly 20 years. Elodie Yung, who played Elektra, recently showed enthusiasm about returning for the MCU's Daredevil Born Again. She last appeared as Elektra in The Defenders, where her character's fate was left ambiguous. While it's uncertain if all Netflix Marvel content is still canon, Young's Elektra could potentially make a comeback, despite her character's apparent death. Marvel has already revived Kingpin, who seemed to be dead in Hawkeye, setting a precedent for fake-out deaths in the Daredevil universe. In a chat with 2Fab, Elodie Yung expressed her excitement about returning as Elektra, but clarified that the decision isn't hers to make. She encouraged fans who want to see her back in the role to reach out to Mr. Marvel, presumably Marvel Studios head Kevin Feige. She said, "Oh my gosh, I would love that. It's so funny because my fans are like, 'Can you come back?' And I'm like, 'Ask Mr. Marvel. You have to ask Mr. Marvel for that, not me.'" Young is definitely excited about the idea of coming back as Elektra, though it's not entirely in her hands. If given the opportunity, she'd likely be on board. Even though Daredevil Born Again is already in the works, there's still a chance Young could return in another MCU project or a potential second season. So now the question is, how could Elektra return in the MCU? Elodie Young's Elektra was last seen in the season finale of The Defenders, where both she and Daredevil appeared to be killed in a collapsing building. While Daredevil was later found alive, Elektra's body was never recovered, leaving a potential opening for her return, since her death wasn't explicitly shown. Even if Elektra was intended to be dead in the Netflix series, Marvel isn't obligated to follow that storyline. The MCU version of Daredevil seems to retain some elements from the Netflix series, but Marvel has been vague about how much of the show's story is canon. This flexibility allows them to incorporate elements they like and disregard others. Initially, Daredevil Born Again wasn't set to feature characters like Foggy Nelson and Karen Page from the Netflix series, but Marvel could change their stance on Elektra if Daredevil's MCU story continues. Now let's talk about the other Elektra. Even though Ben Affleck's Daredevil was seen as a flop by many, Jennifer Garner still got a solo Elektra movie from 20th Century Fox. The 2003 film starred Affleck and Garner as the iconic Marvel couple, but while Daredevil had its disappointments, Elektra earned a notorious reputation as one of the worst superhero films ever made, leading many to question why it was produced. Both Daredevil and Elektra were part of 20th Century Fox's early Marvel movies, contributing to the foundation of the MCU and the modern superhero genre. This legacy is now honored by Deadpool and Wolverine, which pays tribute to Fox's Marvel era and helps redeem Garner's Elektra in the process. Daredevil may be viewed as a flop in hindsight, but it had a strong start when it was released in 2003. Despite the mixed reviews, the film opened to a solid $40.5 million during its first weekend and $45 million including President's Day. It ultimately earned $179.1 million worldwide against a $78 million budget. While these numbers might not stand out today, especially compared to the massive successes of MCU films, they were quite respectable back then. Daredevil recouped more than double its budget, which is a significant indicator of financial success, though not enough to support a large franchise. Critics had a mixed response as well. Some praised the film's dark tone, its blend of humor and action, and standout performances by Garner, Affleck, and Michael Clarke Duncan, while others were less impressed. On the flip side, some critics disliked Daredevil's tonal inconsistencies and lackluster execution. Ben Affleck even mentioned he disliked the film so much it influenced his decision to play Batman in the DCEU. Despite this, Daredevil's modest success led to a sequel being considered. 20th Century Fox decided against Daredevil 2 and instead greenlit a spin-off focused on Jennifer Garner's Elektra. Unfortunately, Elektra turned out to be a bigger flop than Daredevil. The film was panned for its weak plot, uninspired action, and failure to capture the depth of the character. Garner's performance was noted for effort but couldn't compensate for the film's flaws. Elektra grossed only $56 million worldwide on a $43 million budget, a significant drop from Daredevil's earnings. This poor performance and critical backlash effectively ended hopes for continuing the Daredevil franchise at that time. Affleck's desire for a darker Daredevil sequel highlights what could have been. A more mature, nuanced Daredevil 2 might have resonated better with superhero audiences who were shifting toward more complex films. The franchise eventually revived with the successful Netflix series, which embraced the darker tone Affleck had envisioned. Jennifer Garner has been candid about her dissatisfaction with Elektra. She was contractually obligated to appear in a Daredevil sequel, but she wasn't enthusiastic about the solo film and found the production experience unenjoyable. Garner reportedly called the movie awful during filming and even advised her friends not to watch it. Looking back, Garner believes that if Daredevil had been made under the MCU, it could have been much more successful. She noted that Kevin Feige's involvement has greatly improved the quality and coherence of superhero films, something she felt was missing from her experiences with Daredevil and Elektra. Garner's comments highlight the potential that early 2000s Marvel adaptations missed and serve as a reminder of the importance of handling comic book characters with care and respect. Jennifer Garner's cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine offers a major redemption for her role in the Elektra solo movie. In this new appearance, Elektra is presented with a fresh perspective, featuring an exciting fight scene and improved action that were lacking in her standalone film. The dynamic fight scene in the void toward the end of Deadpool and Wolverine is a standout moment, providing a worthy follow-up to her memorable training montage in Daredevil. This portrayal of Elektra is more serious and aligned with her comic book character, offering a sharp contrast to the inconsistent tone of her solo movie. Garner's Elektra is shown as a powerful and enigmatic figure, with a performance that highlights her lethal abilities and complex personality. The fight choreography is meticulously done, showcasing her martial skills far better than the 2005 Elektra film did. Additionally, the tone of Deadpool and Wolverine allows Elektra's serious side to shine. While the film includes Deadpool's signature humor, it also contrasts this with more serious characters, creating a fitting backdrop for Elektra. Unlike her solo film, which struggled with a tone that didn't suit her character, Deadpool and Wolverine provides a more cohesive environment where her stoicism feels natural and essential to the story. Garner's cameo demonstrates what Elektra could have been with a more fitting approach. Jennifer Garner's return as Elektra in Deadpool and Wolverine has been celebrated by fans and critics, offering a satisfying redemption for her role from the earlier Marvel adaptations. Garner's dedication to the character is evident from a behind-the-scenes video she released, showcasing her rigorous training and preparation for the role. The video, titled "Becoming Elektra," highlights her commitment, including extensive martial arts and weapons training, despite it being 20 years since she last portrayed Elektra. Jennifer Garner's Elektra is a whole different ballgame compared to her earlier role. The fight scenes are exciting and really well done, showing off how much she's grown and how modern filmmaking can up her game. The training video she shared highlights her skills with the sai and how smooth her moves are, giving her character the depth that was missing in the 2005 Elektra movie. Well, that's it. Jennifer Garner's comeback as Elektra has definitely sparked some interesting conversations. What are your thoughts on her new portrayal compared to her previous performances? Do you think this film gives Elektra the redemption she deserved? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more updates. We'll see you in the next one.